Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by green hills and quiet forests, the people lived simple lives. Although the village had enough food to feed everyone, the villagers had become suspicious of strangers. They believed that if they shared what they had, they might not have enough for themselves. One chilly evening, a tired traveler walked toward the village. He had been on the road for many days, carrying only a walking stick, a small cooking pot, and a smooth gray stone in his pocket. He was hungry and hoped someone would offer him a meal. The traveler knocked on the first door. "Good evening," he said politely. "I have traveled a long way. Would you kindly share a little food with me?" The woman at the door shook her head. "I'm sorry," she replied, "but I barely have enough for my own family." The traveler thanked her and continued to the next house. He knocked again. "Could you spare a piece of bread or a bowl of soup?" he asked. The man inside sighed. "I wish I could help, but I have nothing to spare." One by one, the traveler visited every house in the village. Each villager gave a different excuse. "I've run out of vegetables. I have no bread. My pantry is empty. I must save my food for winter." Soon the traveler realized that asking for food would get him nowhere. Instead of feeling angry, he smiled. He walked to the center of the village where there was a large stone well. He placed his cooking pot over a small fire and filled it with fresh water. The curious villagers gathered around him. "What are you doing?" one child asked. "I'm making stone soup," the traveler answered with a smile. "Stone soup?" everyone repeated in surprise. "Can soup really be made from a stone?" "Oh, yes," said the traveler confidently. "It's a very special recipe." He carefully washed the smooth gray stone and dropped it into the pot. The villagers watched closely as the water began to boil. After stirring the pot for a few minutes, the traveler tasted the soup with a wooden spoon. He said thoughtfully. "It's already quite good." The villagers looked at one another in amazement. "But," the traveler continued, "stone soup becomes even more delicious with just a few carrots." An elderly woman smiled. "I think I have a couple of carrots at home." She hurried away and soon returned with fresh carrots. The traveler thanked her and added them to the pot. He stirred again and took another taste. "Wonderful," he said. "Though a few potatoes would make it even better." A farmer stepped forward. "I have some potatoes in my cellar." He brought them, and they were added to the soup. Soon another villager offered onions. Someone else brought cabbage. A young boy ran home and returned with a handful of peas. A baker arrived carrying fresh bread. A gardener contributed herbs. Another villager brought beans. One family offered tomatoes. Another shared the corn. Even those who had first claimed they had nothing began bringing something small. Little by little, the cooking pot filled with colorful vegetables. The delicious smell spread throughout the village. Everyone smiled as the rich soup slowly simmered. Children laughed. Neighbors talked happily. People who had hardly spoken to one another for weeks now stood together around the fire. Finally, the traveler tasted the soup one last time. "It is ready," he announced. The villagers eagerly filled their bowls. To their surprise, it was the most delicious vegetable soup they had ever eaten. The warm soup filled their stomachs, and the laughter filled their hearts. As they enjoyed the meal together, one villager said, "I never realized how much we could create when everyone contributed a little." Another nodded. "We all thought we had too little to share, but together we had more than enough." The traveler smiled kindly. "You see," he said, "the secret ingredient was never the stone." The villagers looked at him with puzzled faces. "The real magic," he explained, "was your willingness to work together and share what each of you already had." Everyone laughed as they finally understood. The traveler quietly removed the smooth stone from the pot, slipped it back into his pocket, and prepared to continue his journey. Before leaving, the villagers thanked him warmly. From that day forward, whenever a traveler visited the village, they welcomed the guest with open hearts instead of closed doors. They also began sharing with one another more often, discovering that kindness, generosity, and cooperation made their village happier than it had ever been. And whenever they gathered for a community meal, someone would smile and say, "Who remembers the day we made stone soup?"